So this is one technique you can use to improve internal rotation range of motion at the shoulder. We're going to use a type of stretching called PNF stretching. Stands for proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. You don't have to be able to spell it to do it, but the idea is that we're going to alternate a stretch with a contraction of the same muscle. Because what you can find is that some muscles, their range of motion will be inhibited if you're incredibly weak or unstable in that part of the range of motion. And what we want to do is just sort of tell your nervous system and your brain that there is some stability there, so it allows you to go into that range of motion. Again, it's not always a stretch, stretch, stretch kind of idea, but we want to create just, are we stable or are we strong in that part of the range of motion too? So I'm on my side. I want to make sure I've got some decent posture here. I don't want to be real slumped up because that tends to just jam the upper arm right up into the shoulder, and it's not gonna feel great. So I want to have some decent posture. I'm laying on my side, and I've got this arm give or take about 90 degrees out from the shoulder. And all I want to do is I'm going to gently apply some pressure right at the wrist, not even at the hand, but at the wrist, and just push this arm now into internal rotation. And then once I find that end range, and I haven't even started to force it yet, and I don't want to, so I've got that muscle in end range. Now what I'm going to do is I'm holding my hand here. Now I'm going to push this arm back into this hand to create some tension now on the external rotator muscles of the shoulder, which are the muscles that would be tight if I can't get into internal rotation. So I'm pushing this arm back, and I'm only going to hold it for about a 10 count. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I just want to apply a little bit of just a gentle push to move that muscle now into the end range again. You see it's able to go just a little bit further. And again, I'm going to do a 10-second push. So all I'm trying to do is just get that muscle to actually fire in that end range, because sometimes that's the reason why your brain doesn't want you to go into that range of motions, because there is no support. And then I relax and I'm able to go a little further. Again, I'm not forcing this. I barely have a stretch on the back side of my shoulder. And then again, now I'm pushing back. It's kind of like you're alternating maybe like a 5 to 10 second stretch with a 5 to 10 second contraction until you reach the end range. End range might be palm on the floor, or it might just be an improvement from where you started. You know, especially if you're really tight, don't expect that you're going to get 100% turnover within a single day. But even if it's an improvement over where you started, then that's really all that matters. So now do one last push, and we'll kind of see where we ended. And you want to end with the contraction. You don't want to end with the stretch, because you're trying to just lock in mentally that sort of stability angle of it. Okay, so again, it's not going from 90 degrees all the way down to 180 degrees, but still even picking up 10, 15 degrees worth of range of motion in what amounts to probably less than a minute of work is a super valuable thing to do, especially because that might be if you were to hold a stretch, that might be your first 5 minutes of holding that stretch. But now that I've actually fired some of that supporting tissue up, now if I were to apply some harder stretching, I've gotten past where I'm unstable, and now I can actually get to where I'm a little bit more on the tighter side. And that way I'm getting more benefit from the traditional, more static stretching kind of concept. So there you go.